From his observation point on the bridge, James Look waits for the water to recede, the first sign of the tidal wave's approach. Hilo's fishermen know the sea. They rush towards open water, hoping to escape the wave's devastating impact. Shortly after midnight, a small wave enters the bay. It has been 15 hours since the earth shook in Chile. The men who have relentlessly tracked the wave are now powerless. 12:40 a.m. A second wave enters Hilo Bay. Ignoring the warnings, curious residents come to the shore. These actual photographs were taken minutes before the giant wave struck. At 1 a.m., the water recedes, sucked into the approaching tidal wave. Eight waves attacked Hilo. More than 250 homes and businesses were demolished, another 300 damaged. Loss of property amounted to more than $40 million. 61 people were killed. Another 200 were caught in the wave. James Look's body was found near the bridge he had thought was safe. Ironically, his detailed notes and eyewitness accounts were lost. 2 decades have not wiped out the memories.
This map here shows the 1960 May 23rd tidal wave. This is how high the wave had come in this particular restaurant.
I find that being curious is one of the worst things that can happen to a human being. People should never be curious in the event that there is a tidal wave coming.
The wave had hit us, and the dining room set went against the back door, so we couldn't go out anyway.
Things happened so fast that I was running away from the wave, and I just couldn't think about anything else but running.
Harry Kim of the Hawaii County Civil Defense.
The 1960 tsunami was a tragic experience, I think, primarily because the Hawaii County government, state government, territory, civil defense, to me, I cannot put it in no other words except we botched the job. The warning was poor, the evacuation system was non-existent, the setting up of inundation lines were non-existent.
The 1960 wave proved that something had to be done to prevent another disaster. To rebuild the downtown seemed futile. Unless the right answers were found, Hilo would be doomed to more death and destruction. The Look Laboratory, named after James Look, was set up at the University of Hawaii to help solve Hilo's unique problem. Simulated waves are generated in wave tanks. Preventing tidal waves seems unlikely, but scientists such as Professor Franz Gerritsen hope they can improve tsunami predictions. Dr. Gerritsen explains why Hilo is so vulnerable to tsunami attack.
The city of Hilo has been hit hard several times from various tsunamis. Hilo is situated on a bay inside of a harbor, and the geometry of the bay and the special location of the bay make it very vulnerable, because tsunami waves that arrive in the area are magnified, as you may call it, inside the bay and create large run-ups near the shoreline. Such happened in the 1960 tsunami wave in Hilo, when a breaking tsunami wave entered Hilo Bay and did great damage on the shoreline.
The residents of Hilo had had enough. Their solution? Rebuild the devastated downtown away from the shore, away from the wave's destructive force. A 300-acre park now confronts the sea. The open park space acts as a buffer, protecting the 27,000 residents of Hilo. When the next giant wave strikes, hopefully, only trees and grass will be destroyed.
Since World War II, more Americans have been killed by tidal waves than by earthquakes. Most of the United States is relatively safe from tsunami attack. But the possibility does exist that the violent forces of the earth and the sea may combine, sending a tidal wave speeding toward our populated shores.
"30 million Americans live on the West Coast, most never having experienced a tidal wave. People associate the West Coast with earthquakes, not tidal waves. What would happen if a tidal wave were racing towards Southern California? In Search Of simulates this possibility. Let's assume an earthquake rocks Japan, generating a tsunami. Commander Ed Bernard of the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center will issue the alert.
Tsunami's heading for the West Coast. We better issue a tsunami warning supplement.
Okay, Ed. The expected time of arrival of the wave on the West Coast is 4 hours.
The Coast Guard in Los Angeles would receive the bulletin.
Okay, just got a tsunami warning. The ETA, Southern California, is about 4 hours. You want to take care of the UMIB, I'll take care of the warning message. Handle San Diego and go north. I'll take Santa Barbara, go south with the harbor departments. Right. All Coast Guard vessels, this is RCC channel 83. Roger, a tsunami has been generated off of the Japanese coast.
ETA is 4 hours. Take necessary evasive action.
Attention. This is a tidal wave warning. A tidal wave may strike this beach. Please evacuate immediately and move to higher ground. Attention. This is a tidal wave warning.
The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has issued a tidal wave warning for Southern California. The Civil Defense has called for an immediate evacuation of all coastal areas. The U.S. Coast Guard advises boat owners to move their boats out to sea immediately. The police ask curiosity seekers to stay away from the coast.
Would Los Angeles be prepared? If an actual tidal wave was coming, would the warning be heeded? Experts agree it is not a question of whether another tidal wave will strike, but when. What scientists fear most is a tsunami caused by a local earthquake. Lieutenant Stephen Froelich of the U.S. Coast Guard.
If an earthquake occurred fairly close to the coastline in Southern California, in other words, maybe a couple miles offshore, we would probably not have time if a tsunami was generated to really warn anyone. Hopefully, if it was that close, we wouldn't have to worry about it building up enough to have any great effect. But if there was, it would be almost instantaneous.
If a large earthquake occurred in Southern California, if you were on the beach, you felt the earth shaking strongly enough that you had to hold on to something to keep from falling down, that's nature's warning to you. We cannot possibly get a warning to you in 5 minutes, but you can save yourself by getting to higher ground.